Well, hey guys, and happy Saturday to you, and happy March. Yeah, today is March 7th, 2026. You know what that means? No, it doesn't mean it's Saturday. It means that it's time for a brand new master topic. Well, before I get into that, I want to take the opportunity to welcome everyone. If this is your very first time on the show, well, again, I want to say welcome to you. Thank you so much for being here. Really do appreciate that. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you're coming back, I definitely want to say welcome back. Thanks so much for coming back and deciding to absorb all this great content. If you're new or not, don't feel free to join and check out the free believemeachieve.com for more of my amazing, of course, inspiring creation, short form, long form content, and so much more. I think you guys will definitely appreciate that. All right, guys, if you're thirsty, I have an RO water here. Feel free to go grab yourself one or something else, a snack or a beverage. And let's go ahead and kick this show off. Are you ready? I know I am. All right. So before I kick the show off, I do want to let you know that the book is almost complete. I think I've got like about a chapter and a half left to go. And the book is on schedule to finish perfect the end of this month. And it will release sometime mid-April. The dedication is scheduled for the 17th or 18th of April. And the book will start taking orders right after that, and it'll be available for public sale right around, I think it's right around May 1st. And the book tour will start right around June. So again, welcome everyone. This is Inspirations for Your Life. It's Series 5, Show 11, Episode number 1. Forge your inner power. That's what this whole week is about, forging your inner power. Intentional action and clarity. Oh, who am I? Oh, sure. I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. I'm an engineer, marketing specialist, video producer, podcast host, coach, keynote speaker, graduate student, and a passionate lifelong learner. This episode focuses on how cultivating awareness, clarity, and intentional action can amplify your personal power and help you take control of your life. Today, like I said, is Saturday. It is March 7th. And we're all about awareness and mindful action today. So awareness transforms unconscious habits into intentional actions. Every moment is nothing more than a choice of our life. Pausing before reacting multiplies decision impact. Hesitation is a superpower, guys. Observing patterns prevents repeated mistakes. Your past is your teacher. Yes, it is. Every small choice reinforces self-trust. Trust builds momentum. Deliberate micro actions compound into lasting change. Tiny wins become breakthroughs, guys. So avoid energy, draining distractions, protect your mental bandwidth. Mindful attention enhances intuitive decision making. Clarity comes from, yes, presence. Observation reduces the risk of impulsive errors. Noticing that before acting is the key. I've always said to you that we need to be more proactive instead of reactive. I used the example of a fire a long time ago that, you need to be prepared for the what if fire. You need to know how to handle things, not when the fire happens, but before the fire. Awareness, guys, clarifies daily priorities. Focus your energy where it matters. Focus attention protects mental bandwidth. Guard your mind like a vault. Yes. Recognize impulses before they hijack your energy. Awareness is control. You know what's really important in our life? Our energy and also our time. Those are two very important things. Mindfulness clears mental clutter. Simplicity drives effectiveness. A lot of times people want to make things more complicated and hard, but they don't need to be. They just need to be mindful of what they have and make things simpler, and things can grow. Being present is important because it increases the effectiveness. And I tell you to stop multitasking and start mastering. So many people I know want to multitask. Why? Because they think that is the way they should be going. That's the way it appears to them. They think that they should be doing that, but not necessarily are doing that. And I think that's an important thing for a lot of people to understand, is that we have to be mindful of these situations. All right. Notice forbidden traps. Before falling, awareness creates boundaries. Now, I don't say that to scare you. I say that so that you are, let's say, on track with it, okay? Awareness converts obstacles into opportunities. When we become aware of something, we pay attention to it, and then our mind focuses on it, and suddenly everything else kind of fades in the distance, and we actually see that challenge as an opportunity, and we can use that as leverage. Not something we should fear, not something we should run away from. Just because something is different or uncomfortable doesn't mean it's not good for us. Well, take lima beans, take broccoli. I know when I was younger, I never used to like lima beans or broccoli or anything like that. And I tried them, didn't like them. And then later on, I grew a taste for them and I actually felt they're good for me. Another thing was liver. My grandmother on my dad's side, his mother, would make liver. And everybody else would give him a face like, oh, liver. But she made it. I tried it. And everybody was like, tell me, oh, you're going to hate it. And I had, and I loved it. So I think being open is important to change and also important to us becoming a better version of ourselves. Detect harmful patterns early for resilience. This is a big key. When you're a pattern recognizer, that's what insurance people do, right? They look for patterns. And if there's a certain pattern, well, then they try to see if that person falls in that pattern. If they do, well, then they either raise their rates, possibly lower them, or take another action. So resilience prevention beats repair. We need to be resilient every day and we need to get better at it. It's not about becoming the best in 24 hours. It's about understanding how we can make a difference in our lives. That's really, I think, the most important thing I can tell you. It's about making that difference in our lives. And when we talk about making difference, I think that's something that a lot of people, I don't know, I think they just don't quite understand like what that means. Making a difference is something a lot of people out there get fearful about. Why? Well, because they don't think that they can do something. And that belief is 99% of why they're not getting it done. So conscious living, guys, sustains focus. Autopilot drains potential. We talked about this before. It's very easy to engage autopilot. Autopilot not only can suck up your energy, it also can suck up your time. And our time, I don't know about you, is extremely precious. So we need to make sure that we're using every moment, every second in a manner that is going to be best for our life and others. Awareness strengthens emotional control. Calmness is strength. Mindful choices accelerate growth. Intentionality compounds it. So we make the choice, but when we've made a choice that's intentional, that's when it compounds. All right? Awareness sharpens judgment under pressure. Clarity prevails in chaos. In chaos. So if you want to get rid of that, you want to get rid of that challenge that you're having, get rid of the chaos. And you'll see clarity will return to you almost immediately. Correct energy, guys, leaks before it expands. Vigilance preserves power. So that's talking about conserving energy. That's talking about conserving time. That's what it's about, guys. It's about knowing, not every minute, but knowing that I'm going to do this task, do that task. Now, before I did the show today, I actually had studying to do. I'm getting ready for a midterm in my master's class. I'm taking basically advanced computers and assembly. And it's not that the stuff is hard, but it needs practice. Because when you do it multiple times, it just comes on autopilot. And that's a good autopilot. That's an autopilot that kind of gets you through the flow. That's not an autopilot that's going to waste my time. So by putting in time now, which a lot of people don't study weeks before, the exam is actually on March 18th. And I started studying well before that. Okay. There's only 20 questions that are multiple choice, and another 2 that are like essay. And enjoying studying is something that I really feel good about, because when I learn this stuff and when I use these principles, I'm like, I own this. And I feel so great that I have these tools right in my back pocket. Awareness, guys, fuels quiet confidence. Inner power is built, it's not shown. Intentional attention prevents regret. Make choices you can own. I know a lot of people that rush for choices, and unfortunately, when they rush for choices, they're not the right choice. I think that happens because a lot of people just don't get why something's not working. And I know a lot of you are saying to me, John, that makes sense, but it doesn't affect me. It does. First of all, I want to tell you something, and I know a lot of you may not agree with me. If you are playing the game of denial, which is not a river in Egypt, it most definitely is affecting you. Now, whether you want to admit it, that's up to you. You don't have to admit it publicly, but you do need to admit it to yourself, because if you don't acknowledge it, how are you ever going to make a change in your life? That is probably one of the most important things that I can tell you. If you don't make that change, then I feel that a lot of things are going to they're potentially going to go wrong for you. Not because you want them to go wrong, but just because you're not prepared for the situation. All right. Align actions with values. Integrity fuels momentum, guys. Awareness uncovers hidden opportunities. What you see guides you. What you see guides you. Micro decisions create outsized impact. Small wins drive transformation. Small wins, not big wins, small wins. Awareness multiplies clarity, and focus. Attention compounds the results. Okay. Mindful action builds momentum. We like momentum, right? Deliberate steps accelerate the progress. So mindful action gets the engine started. Okay. And once we have that, the engine gets started. Okay. But when we take deliberate steps while the engine's running, we accelerate our progress. We get the engine to work much more efficiently. Awareness fortifies identity. Self-trust shapes the character. I've talked a lot about character before, right? Character has to do with who you are right now, who you're becoming, and character actually gets defined with you by what people don't see. So the you that is around when you're alone actually helps define the public you. All right, that's an important thing. So living deliberately begins, guys, with noticing. Presence is the foundation of personal power. Presence. Presence, awareness, being mindful. You might say, gee, John, this is all about, meditation. No, meditation's a very big help for this. In your life, if things are all out of whack and you're wondering why you're not connecting to opportunities, I'm going to tell you why. It's because you're focused on the past, you're focused on what went wrong, and you need to focus on the future. Okay. You also need to focus on what Neville Goddard said, which is living the feeling of the wish fulfilled. He taught something really great, and so did this other guy, Joseph, teach something well, and that is, it is done. Very powerful. Let me say it again. It is done. Whatever you're trying to do, it is done. It is done. You feel how that feels? It is done. It just like relaxes your body and takes away any stress. It is done. 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 Show, commentary, and insight. We've talked about a lot of important things today. And hearing things are great, seeing things are great. But you know what really makes the difference? What really moves the needle? It's doing. Now, you might say, John, I'm an auditorial learner, or I'm a visual learner. Even if you're auditory or you're visual, I still want to tell you that doing things kinesthetically and actually taking part of them really will keep that needle moving. So when I'm practicing for my test, it's not just listening, it's not just seeing, it's doing. It's actually taking the time to write out the problems, to practice them, and to self-navigate. So if I notice that something's wrong, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I got to go back and double check. And there's other ways I can go back and check to see if I got the right answer. So one of the things we're doing right now is we're working in binary, which is base 2, and we're also working in hex, which is base 16. I know what the answer should be, but I need to make sure I get it with the digits, if that makes sense. When we get up every morning, okay, and the first thing you might notice could be your heartbeat. It could be the temperature of your skin against the blankets or the sheets. Maybe you notice the sound of your air conditioner in your home or your heat, right? Or maybe you notice something else. And that sound kind of grounds you. And after you notice that sound, you start to realize that you are present. Present. What does present mean? Present is to be here now. If you're listening to a friend and that friend is talking to you and you are present with him or her, you're going to hear what they're saying, not just the sounds, but you're going to be able to tell what's going on. You're not trying to rebuttal it, guys. You're not trying to rebuttal. And I think that's an important thing to understand, that you're not trying to rebuttal it. You're not trying to rebuttal it. And I know that's something you're probably saying to me, John, that sounds crazy. But I want to tell you, it is not crazy. I want to tell you that right now. It is not crazy. All right? It's not crazy. You can do this. But 95% of it comes from belief. We've talked about belief before, right? Belief is that stuff you can't touch or see, but it's part of you. And that is kind of the hidden fuel that can propel you forward, or it can act like a drag and pull you back. So many people I know are not present. They say they are, but then when you have a conversation with them, they're out in left field. I'll give you a perfect example. So a friend that I met recently, I could tell they weren't fully present all the time. Didn't make a big deal of it. And the first thing I said to myself is, their birthday's coming up. I'm going to remember their birthday. Okay. Of course, I got to thank you. Even for the holidays, I sent them some homemade cookies. But you know what happened when my birthday rolled around? Absolutely nothing. Okay, maybe the person didn't want to send me a card. No big deal. Not even a acknowledgement of happy birthday on my Facebook wall, or even a text to say happy birthday. What I did get is some people just trying to tell me that, just, hey, how are you? I don't know about you guys, but hey, how are you is not being present for me. All right. It's not being present. Now, I don't ridicule anybody, but I know that that person is not in alignment with my energy. So I'm not going to spend time with them. Does that make sense? So again, it's not about being judgmental, but it's about being around people that recognize your energy, that recognize presence, that appreciate presence, and that are present. I can be present for someone, but if they're not present for me, guess what? That's a one-way relationship, a one-way friendship. And when somebody texts you and just say, hey, how are you? But can't acknowledge when your birthday is. You might say, well, John, maybe they didn't know when your birthday was. Facebook kind of tells everybody when your birthday was. So I went through my wall a couple times to say, maybe I missed their comment that said happy birthday, right? So I went through once after my birthday, and then a few weeks later I went by and I'm like, nope, this person never wished me a happy birthday. I went through all the several hundred people on Facebook that wished me a happy birthday, which again, I'm very grateful for. So being present means that your actions are in alignment with your core values. Being present is about being truthful, guys. When you are present, what matters is the moment, not anything else. I've had other people that have not been present, and I've written them off, not been nasty to them. I've just decided to move on with my life. Is that being rude? Is that being selfish? Is that being stuck up? No, it's being protective of my energy. And you should do the same thing. You should do the same thing. Be protective of your energy. Be protective of your presence. And if other people are not present for you, well, then that's a big problem. That's a very, very big problem. And you got to address it, because if you don't address it, and if I would have went back to this person that texted me and said, "Hey, look, this is what's going on." If I would have went back to that person, then I could maybe I could understand that. I could understand that. Maybe you don't understand it. Maybe you know what presence is, but you're, let's say, lying to yourself. And I know people do this because, oh, I want to give him a break. Sure, I get it. Give people a break. But when you are constantly present for someone, even if it's not every day, even if it's just once in a while, and they don't show up for you, or they show up in the wrong energy, that needs to change. Because my life is valuable, just like your life is valuable. And I don't want to have my presence in the presence of someone else who's half present. That's disrespectful to my life. Just like I wouldn't want that for you. I would want you to be present with people, to meet with people. I don't care whether we're talking about business, personal life, whether these are relationships that are friends or romantic relationships, whatever they are. You as a person deserve to have people in your life that are present, whether it's acknowledging your birthday, or whatever it is. And through all my years of life, I've learned that there are people out there that appear to be present, but it's a facade. They do it because it's an act they play. But when you need them to be present for you, they're too busy. They don't have time. I don't know what to say other than protect your presence, because protecting your presence protects your energy, which protects and shows respect for you. I know this was a heavy topic today and we just started this week, but presence. Presence can be something like you going outside and being present in nature, right? You're present, you hear, you feel, you can touch nature, the trees, feel the wind. Not being present would be out there, and maybe you have your headphone on and you're not even paying attention to any part of nature. It's okay if you want to put your headphones on, but you should have a little bit of a acumen for nature. Maybe you're on a hike. Maybe you're listening to some music. No problem. But you're still present. You're in the moment. You're walking. You're looking. You're appreciating what's around you. Presence is not something somebody tells you to be. It's something you desire to be because of your core inner values. I talk a lot about that. I've been talking a lot about your core values. So, guys, each of these points today represent a pillar of actionable personal development. Awareness, guys, is not passive. Nope. It's an active skill based practice that allows you to recognize patterns, anticipate challenges, and respond intentionally. Small daily actions, when aligned with your goals and aspirations and values, compound into significant long-term results. If you pause before action, is not hesitation, it's strategic control. So taking that step to pause is absolutely okay. It's okay to do that. And I don't mean that in a bad sense, guys. I mean that in a way that hopefully can make a difference in your life. All right? That can make a difference in your life, because if it can make a difference in your life, then I feel you can make a difference yourself. you can make the difference yourself. And that self, guys, is something pretty amazing, right? It's amazing because you can understand. That's important. I think a lot of people don't realize what that means. And it means something pretty special. Okay. It means something very special because if you understand that whole concept, right, it makes a difference for you. It makes a difference for you. And that's something I want all of you to understand. I want you to understand that right now. Because if you don't, you're going to miss the boat. You're going to miss the boat. Pausing is not hesitation, it is strategic control. Every decision made with attention, reflection, strengthens self trust and cultivates resilience. Forbidden distractions or shortcuts may offer immediate relief, but they will inevitably erode long term clarity, trust, and confidence and momentum. By intentionally noticing these traps, you protect energy and ensure your effort translates into meaningful progress. Mindful action also sharpens regulation. Awareness of your impulses, energy, leaks, and environmental stressors allow you to act with calm power. Focused attention increases clarity, decision making, and productivity, while conscious alignment between actions and values builds personal credibility and self respect. Remember, guys, momentum is created by repeated, deliberate micro actions. Each conscious choice contributes to compounding growth, your identity, your discipline, and personal power. And these are built in small but intentional moments. So I invite you guys to catch more inspirations for your life shows, this one and other ones and other series, short form and other long form content by visiting believemeachieve.com 24 hours a day and start accelerating your personal growth through exercises designed to strengthen you with deliberate action. So stay connected. And remember, guys, your awareness is key to being present. Take care, everyone.